Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. Today we're bringing you a two-player gameplay of Veiled Fate from Ivy Studios, and I'm here with Tony from Plus One Exp. This is one of, if not your favorite social deduction board game, your favorite hidden movement board game.
I think this is probably
favorite board game of all time.
I don't know if I would say favorite board game of all time.
All right,
It's certainly in the top three. I absolutely love everything Ivy does. Austin actually was nice enough to give me a preview of this before the campaign launched way back when. I point people to it all the time. I try to get my family and friends to play it with me on a regular basis, and sometimes I'm successful at that, but it just does a lot of really interesting things that other hidden role and hidden movement games don't do. And I've never played it in two players before, so I'm very excited.
So I believe I have, but only way back in the day. Like, it's been a while, and I recently played, I believe, a 7-player game, which was amazing. Like, there's a recorded gameplay of it. It was absolutely mind-blowing how the game changes at higher player counts. But Austin has told me that 2-player and then 7-player is his favorite differential. 2-player, we're gonna have a whole different puzzle because I'm solving who you are. And then at higher player counts, you actually have teams. So at 7 players, you have 1 floater and 3 teams of 2, but you don't know who your teammate is.
Yeah.
So you're sitting there looking across the table trying to figure out, did you move black because I'm black and we're black? Or did you move black just because you're, like, shifting these tiles on the board?
And it also, for the floater, they're not going to have anybody else who they're trying to communicate with.
But they don't know that they're a floater.
And they don't know that, but
so
it's
they're
still
just looking around going, are you my friend?
Yeah.
Are you my friend? Am I all alone?
And it's really interesting to see some of those social mechanics be so obfuscated while tying into the same central core mechanics that you can't pull all those pieces down. Because one of my favorite things about most hidden role games, whether I win or lose, is just knowing who everybody is at the end, whether or not I've won or lost.
I'm curious to see if we can pinpoint each other. Because if we can, then the amount of control you can do to screw with the other person is
very
immense.
High. Very high.
Whereas in a higher player count, even if I think I know who you are, there's enough obstruction that you might end up kind of towards the top anyway.
Right.
I'm curious. Okay, so, and we weren't originally planning on playing this. You're actually down here showcasing quite a few other things. You want to tell them what you do over at Plus One Exp?
Yeah.
We'll leave a link in the title or the top of the video description so y'all can swing over there and check out your channel, but let the people know.
So if I am. I don't even have to ask. If I am, but I am.
Currently
I am Chief Alchemist over at Plus One Exp, which is a weird little brand that multi-classes in tabletop game design, beard and skincare alchemy, and the Bardic College of Content Creation. So we cover indie RPGs, and we do everything we can to create sustainable pathways to publication and play for small indie creators, including creating video content, short reviews, how to play RPGs in 5 minutes or less, and then sometimes I come play board games with my friend Jesse.
Things that have some nice crossover and touchstone there. Now, the reality of it is when I first discovered your channel, I believe within the first 5 sentences I send you was the phrase, I am legitimately jealous of what you're producing. Your stuff is beautiful. Like you all dive into these little indie RPG projects that are not so little anymore, to be honest.
Yeah, some of them are big.
That are beautiful. They're inviting. They're enveloping. They're so different. They're weird. These little like side angles. Whether it's a solo RPG game that you're diving into yourself, or there's massive like quick playing social deduction type style. And I just am absolutely absorbed and jealous of the fact that you get to spend your days diving into the world of RPGs.
It's a great way to make a living.
It's not too bad. Okay. Do you want to give a quick rundown? Should I give a quick rundown of what we're going to be doing in this? And then we'll start playing. So, Veiled Fate. First off, because this is a Quackalope video, and I haven't heard your flavor text voice before, but I've heard your RPG voice. Let's get some flavor text established at the front end here.
We're doing this page, right? Not the components page.
The components page would be lovely.
9 Demigod standees, 18 Demigod cards.
That's all I want now.
If you're looking for a stretch goal for your next campaign, hire me to read the components list. Play as a divine being who sired a demigod in the realms of men. The identity of your lineage is known only to you. Use positional play to complete quest and influence fate to ensure the outcome is in your favor. Strike the perfect balance of misdirection and mischief to capture the throne. There are 9 demigods. At the beginning of the game, each player is secretly assigned 1 demigod as their offspring. When the game begins, however, players may control the actions of any demigod, not just their own. Through strategic play and secret voting, players must aid their demigod in gaining renown, but be careful. Giving away your lineage too soon may cause the other players to work together towards your demigod's demise. At the end of 3 ages, the demigod with the most renown ascends to the throne and wins the game.
So, this is a little game where we're going to have a handful of cards. We're going to be taking an action, which is move a demigod to a position, maybe resolve a quest if we end up having filled that zone. Maybe we resolve some bonuses from the city if we end up moving back into the city location. And you can spend some of your cards to utilize a god power. Portal, Transfiguration, Smite, Omniscience, and Influence. If you don't have any cards left, you are forced to pass, and we're going to go through 3 eras or 3 ages, which have their own kind of voting consequences at the end. And then once that is resolved, we will determine who is the victor by who is the highest on the track. Now, you can get a primary victory by being the highest demigod on the track between us and also the highest demigod, period. And you can get a secondary victory if you are the highest between us, but maybe not necessarily the highest demigod across the board. And
the essentially NPC feature of all the demigods in this game is one of the things that really sold me on the concept initially.
Yeah. You can manipulate any demigod that's out there on the map. So, the question is, who are you going to be? Who am I going to be?
I'm always tempted to just say it out loud and then pretend like I was joking and it's not actually that clear.
I played one whole game where I convinced the people around the table that I never actually looked at my demigod card. I glanced, slayed it down, and they're like, "You gonna check?" And I'm like, in that moment, I said, "No." Okay, so I'm gonna take a look at mine. All right, and now let's go ahead and introduce the audience to who we are. We'll close our eyes, we'll hold up the card. If the audience wants to know so they can follow along with our play, they can watch. If they don't want to know, I will count to 5, and they can just not look at the screen and then come back to us and play blind with us.
So we're both going to close our eyes at the same time.
Close your eyes, hold up your camera facing the front camera, and I will count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put your card back down on the table. Open up your eyes again. I'm going to slot my card.
Jesse's secret strategy is that he doesn't close his eyes when he does that.
Yeah, but the problem is I have to cut away to like the top camera or something like that to prove that. Yeah, the reason why there was a quick side shot there was because of the tactical no eyes closed movement. I can't believe you caught on to me immediately. Other than that, you want to go first? Should we designate you start player?
I will be start player, right? Because this rotates each round.
Yeah, and we can begin playing the game. Very fancy little coin there if we need to do any flipping. Who and what are you going to start manipulating? My assumption is you're going to go for a straight play. You're just going to start manipulating your demigod from the get-go.
Exactly. All right, we got a couple different things going on here.
Yeah, each of these locations has various ways that they resolve. Some are limited to certain characters or certain classes. Other ones have to be played down in order. And when these cards resolve, they resolve based off of how many votes are in the area for scorpions or for feathers. For instance, here, if this filled up with 3 demigods, and we had the most feathers in here, more feathers than scorpions, the top would gain 2 victory points. The bottom would flip a coin and either be smited or lose a victory point. And the bottom down here would either gain or lose a victory point. On the other side, if there was more scorpions, it would be lose a victory point, gain 2 victory points, and gain 1 victory point, respectively.
And here's a weird question that we've never been able to positively satisfy at my table at home.
Okay.
Are these straddling either of these lines to start? Is that how you play? They can be in either of these to begin, or do they always take one move on their first movement?
So the city is adjacent to everything. And so if you're moving into a zone here, you can just go directly into...
But you play as they are in the city now, they're just on the edges.
They are all in the city now.
Cool.
Yeah, they're all in the city now.
Only because I think it's fun, and because yellow's the only shown required one right off the bat. I'm going to move yellow over here.
What? But wait, you have to play a card.
I do.
So that's not...
I guess I can't do that.
It's not possible to end in a dead zone, because every turn you have
to... What if I just smite you instead?
Every turn you have to put a card down. Now...
But that wasn't all I was going to do. That was one thing I was going to do. Can I not move multiple people at the same time?
Let me check. Let me double check this.
I like how I was like, let's all figure out the rules, and neither one of us is 100% sure that what I just did was legal. Yeah, I was going to move them over, and then somebody else out one.
I see what you're going to do. Up to 2 actions. So, when a player has used both their actions, their turn is over. The actions that you can do are specifically take a move. A player may spend an action to move any of the 9 demis. To move them, the player simply picks up a demi and moves them to any of the ways of the following page. Player may spend both actions to move the same demi twice. To an adjacent location, including the city, to an open slot on a quest in another location, to an open slot on a quest in the region they are currently in, from the abyss to the pools, from the pools to the city, and you're taking 2 actions, move a demi or use a god power. So if you're not using a god power, you could abandon yellow up there,
right,
and then still move another demi into a card,
right,
play a card down, and that would be a legitimate play.
Right, that's what I was going to do.
Okay. So I'm the one that didn't know.
That's fine. I mean, I'm always happy to be wrong and learn more about how a game is played also too. So
if a player decides to only take 1 action on their turn, they announce that they are passing and the next player takes their turn. Or if a player cannot take any more actions and the player is now and can't play a card, the player is forced to rest.
Okay.
So you either have to gain or play a fate card, or you are resting.
Cool. All right, so I'm going to move this person here.
So you're forcing yellow down. You're moving them there. You're going to go to play a fate down card into the break the siege area. Now I could pull yellow back up.
You could.
Which would just shift that location. I am supposed to have like a little coin or something that denotes where that is, so I'll grab that out real quick.
Yeah, and again, this is, for me, like right now, why would, we have to do something with yellow eventually, right? And maybe I am yellow. Maybe this is my weirdest opening gambit ever.
Just pushing someone off?
But also, there's no reason to touch yellow until we have to touch yellow, unless you're yellow. Are you yellow?
It's a reasonable question. I don't have a little marker, not an obvious one at least, so I'll use one of these little standees to be the thing that moves. Okay. Top of my turn. Oh, I have no idea who you might be. And I'm scared of not picking my character, and I'm scared of picking my character.
And there's no, I won't know either way.
So I'm going to go ahead and grab a character.
Maybe yours, maybe not.
Maybe yours,
1 in 9
not.
chance.
I am going to go ahead and begin by filling in this location with you. Now you put green here, which is either lose a point, which doesn't matter right now, or gain 2. I'm going to stick blue down here as well. And I'm going to go ahead and contribute to this pool.
Let's talk about symbols. This is the I symbol. What does this mean? Smite?
The hook is lose a point, and the horseshoe is gain a point or multiple points. And then I like your thought of just abandoning people on the outskirts of the city. I think that's an interesting...
It's a fun way to force the other people
person to potentially
make
have to make choices. I am going to proceed to abandon our little merchant there off to the side of the city as well.
All right, cool.
That's my play. I did use a card, so
you're set.
Fair game.
All right. Well, we've got Break the Siege getting pretty well underway, I feel like. We do need an owl on that. Do we got any owls over here? Have we moved all the owls out there?
There should be 3 of them, I believe.
Got a pink owl over there.
There should be 3 of them.
Yeah, pink is an owl. So we're gonna keep this train going. So we're gonna go 1.
So the question is, do you want... Is this a secondary play? Do you want pink to get the 2 victory points, or do you want green to get the 2 victory points?
It's true. Also, what if I want neither of those things and don't care about those things, and I have just placed down 2 cards of opposite color just to draw more information about which way you voted when you put down...
But I haven't really voted at all anyway.
Well, you voted 1 time when you put down 1 card.
Only in theory.
And here's the deal. If I place that last thing and Break the Siege, I will know which way you voted on blue, if nothing else.
Not perfectly, because 1 card will be added from the deck.
I understand, but I'll have a pretty good sense of what I have put down.
You'll have a very good sense.
And what you have put down.
That is true.
Which I think may be the move. All right, we're gonna move
Black's
them
going
here,
in,
and we are gonna go this.
Okay.
And now it's filled.
Now it's filled. So, the way that you resolve a filled location is, I believe you're going to go ahead and grab a fate card from the top of the deck. You're going to shuffle that in.
Now, do you care if I shuffle this? Do you want to shuffle this?
I do not mind if I do not mind if you shuffle it. You know, as long as you're saying that you're not, paying attention to which cards which.
When you want to not know what it is, do you shuffle under the table? Are you one of those people who like can't help but notice?
I can't help but notice if it's positioned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so.
And you'll start flipping.
All right.
Then once the extra cards are added. So let's see here. If the number is 1, the resolving player chooses 1 player to add a fate card. If the number is 0, add or subtract additional fate cards. The top of each quest shows. So I might not have done this entirely right.
Yeah, because I thought it was you who
The
added
top
one.
of each quest contains an icon with a number inside. The number represents the number of extra cards that must be added when resolving a quest. The active player who finishes the quest must choose a player to add another fate card to the vote pile. So technically,
Can it be me, or it had to be you?
I think it had to have been me.
Are we okay if we use... I mean, the random cards are already mixed in. Do we want to leave it random this time, knowing that that gives neither of us more information, or do you want to...
The active player who finishes the quest must choose a player to add another fate card to the vote pile.
But I don't know which card it is now, because it's mixed in.
Yeah, so let me randomly abandon one of my cards.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And we'll say that is the card that
cool.
was placed in.
Okay.
If the number is 0, nothing changes. The number 1 changes. If the number is 2, 2 different players add a fate card. If the number is -1, shuffle the vote deck and remove a card from the deck. Interesting.
Cool.
Okay, once it's been added, go ahead and review.
So we've got black, we've got double black, and then we've got double white, white, white.
So currently, feathers are winning.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it's going to resolve. So potentially, you wanted pink to take it.
Potentially.
Is that what you were going for? Is pink your color? This is hard. It's hard to read one person across the side of the table. All right. So black is going to move up by 1. Pink is going to move up by 2. Green technically loses, which means he'll go to the back of this stack, and blue will get smitten to the abyss.
Smoot.
He'll be smoot to the abyss.
All right.
These all are abandoned here in this location. Break the Siege comes off the map, and we are back out to the top of the round.
Discard pile over there.
Okay. Okay.
And the abyss is an advantageous place to be.
It's not a bad
also.
place to be, because I am going to go ahead and step blue up.
You're moving blue a whole lot.
Which is going to go ahead and gain me a card. And then, if I go up that next step, I get, I believe that is 2 cycle cards, but let me go ahead and just double check that. Do you remember what that icon is?
The, yeah, that is choose one to discard and draw a new one. Yeah. But I don't remember if you draw one and then choose one to discard or
leaving
the
the
other
pools. The player may then optionally refresh a card. To do this, they first discard a fate card, then draw a new one from the fate deck.
So if you have one that you're not, like if you've got all scorpions in your hand, it's a chance to try to get away from that.
One thing that's funny that I'm realizing in the act of playing this is I rely a lot on other people knowing all of the rules.
But here's the great thing.
I'm sitting here like, I know how to play this game. Everything except
you and I both.
Tiny specifics.
Right. Of how to actually play. But here's the other great thing. So far, nothing has taken a long time to look up.
No. What type of siren is that?
They're coming for us. It's fire.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. It was like a escalating pitch. All right, what's the play? We've got yellow all the way out there. If I move yellow back, I start pushing that track, which I'm not really interested in giving you the option.
I mean, you could move yellow all the way around instead.
Yeah. I think I'm just going to continue pushing things, so I'm going to put orange.
Okay.
Well, I've got to start at the top
here.
here, so I'm going to put orange here.
Okay.
And this is an interesting one because there's no additional cards being added to this pile.
But they do have to. We have to go in order on this one, right?
We do.
So...
And then I think I'm going to move red here, and I'll put down this card. 2 actions.
Okay. So I'm going to move pink over here.
Oh.
Put down a card. Wouldn't it be funny if I was just super obviously telegraphing and ramping up?
Pink, yeah.
Wouldn't it be really funny?
The problem is if I start just trashing pink from now on and it's not your color, I'll let something else skirt by.
And then...
That is a strategy of this game,
strategy.
though. There is a legitimate play where you just go obvious. It doesn't... If people find out too early, though, it doesn't always work.
I'm out of cards.
You're out of cards?
Yeah.
Whoa. So the final sequence, I mean, the final play is going to be me.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. All right, so I'm going to pull yellow back into the city to move this forward 1, and I'm going to pull green back into the city to gain myself a card.
You've got a lot of options.
I've got a decent amount of options, actually. This is going to be flipping a coin, so I'm going to pull blue back into the city to flip the coin.
Okay. And why is it important? Why is flipping the coin important?
Because if it lands on black, which it did not, he would have been smited.
Correct.
So this moves forward. I have no one else. Oh, I do have black outside of the city. I'm going to move black back into the city to draw a card.
Great, I love it.
I wonder if this is how it's supposed to work. I mean, it's got to be, because you've passed, and everyone else continues play until either the cards are done or everyone has passed. But in a 2-player game, I'm the only one remaining. I don't know what you stacked over here in this deck.
You're right, you don't.
I'm terrified of that.
And here's the other fun thing. I now have the option to watch everything you do without any consideration for what I'm doing for multiple turns and see what choices Jesse is making.
It's true. That is very true.
We've successfully turned this into a solo game for a little while.
For a bit of the puzzle.
But the solo game is me deciding what Jesse is doing so that I can figure out who you are. Oh, so you are yellow. No,
pull yellow back into this location where yellow has to be, obviously. Let's go ahead and potentially close off this location, I think.
Sure.
Let's bring purple
so you are purple.
Down here to this location and see what cards you've pilfered into it. So this is here. I'm supposed to choose you to add a card. Because you can't add a card, I will draw from
this
the
one's
deck.
+0.
Oh, it's +0.
So
Perfect information.
Yeah, so you're going to get you know what you put in. You will know what I put in.
I do know what I put in.
Theoretically, but also here's the fun thing. They were the only cards I had, so it doesn't actually
matter.
Tell you anything. Or does it? Are they exactly what
it tells me by who you put there, though.
Maybe.
Double Scorpion. Scorpion. Double Scorpion?
I don't remember putting a double Scorpion in. I think that was you.
That wasn't me.
No, maybe I did it then, yeah, sure.
Another Scorpion. The feather is me.
Well, one of them had to be you. One of these 3 had to be you.
A single Scorpion was.
Okay.
But the feather was me. The single Scorpion came after because I thought you were going for pink.
Okay.
Who were you going for then? You're not supporting anyone in this position. What have you done?
I've learned a lot of information about what you're up to and what you think's happening.
I thought you were pink. That is what I thought was happening. All right, fine. Orange.
But also, they were the only cards I had.
That's fair. Orange is going to be moving up by 1. Pink is going to be dropped by 1. Green is going to be smitten. And purple is going to move up by 2.
All right.
All right, well, that's...
What if I was secretly purple the whole time and this was my long con?
That would be very interesting, because you had no control of who I put there, and I thought pink was scoring.
I've actually been secretly showing you purple things all day long in order to just implant it into your head.
So, that's the play. I've still got some cards.
You do, and you've got one more... You can have as many more moves as you want, but you've got one more spot to fill.
1. I'm going to go 2. Which just grabs me. It's going to get green a point. Interesting. Sure. Green. Up we go. I could bring one more person back into the city for a final card.
You got a lot of cards?
I like having a lot of cards. It means I'm going to be able to influence the vote, which is not... I haven't read that yet.
Yeah, I'm going to start reading that so that as you make your last move, we're a little bit more familiar with exactly what's going to happen.
And let's go ahead and pull, let's say black down into this location here. And let's see what the consequences of these actions are. I will draw 1 from the deck.
And you also were the only one who put things on this one, except for the random one from the deck.
That is true.
So I'm going to learn about how you feel about all these folks, too.
You will learn about how I feel about all of these folks. Feather, 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 scorpion.
Okay.
So black is going to be gaining 2, all the way up to 3. Yellow is going to be, would you like to do the do? Yellow is either being smite or losing a point. Yellow is going to lose a point.
They're already at the end?
Already at the end. And flipping for red, who is either going to gain a point or lose a point.
Ooh, that one almost got away from me.
White is going to go ahead and gain red a single point. Okay, this card clears.
And that was so quick. Like, this is quick.
Yes.
This is moving fast.
Yes.
And I got a lot of information.
I still don't
You made
know
a lot of choices.
how to feel about it at 2 players. There's a dynamic here that is making me uncomfortable, but I like that dynamic at the same time.
And I like that you're uncomfortable.
Okay, so Alter is going to be passing. And you're checking out this Chaos card.
Yeah, so resolving age cards. To resolve an age card, the player with the first player token reads the card aloud. Every age card triggers a global vote. So I will read this card aloud.
Yep. And there's a do.
That's mine.
In
And I can't. I should go close my
If you
computer.
could click your phone, I think it will automatically.
I don't think so because it's the computer isn't.
But if you click it there, they're connected.
How dare you?
Very fancy. See.
Global vote starting to the left of the first player, which will be you, as opposed to if it was the right, in which case it would be you. So if its feathers come out at most, switch Demise at 1 renown and 3 renown, which would be very interesting. There is a very good chance that people would want to, in this particular situation, vote out because overwhelmingly people are most likely in that thing.
Yep.
Now, if you're not in that, if you're 2, if you're 3, or if you're on the bottom, it doesn't help you because you're surging 4 other people ahead. So, and then at Scorpion, switch Demise at 2 and 4 renown, which would only be good for purple. It's very interesting. This is very interesting. All right. Meaning the player of the left of the first player, players take turns adding face-down cards from their hand, which I have none of, and you have a ton of. So you really are going to decide this outcome. And
I could add none, though.
You could add none and give me no information.
Demise at 0 renown would gain 3, because it would be a tie.
That is interesting. So something's going to happen here no matter what.
Yes.
You're either going to push a lot of people up, but and the question for you is, because this is going to be a big swing no matter what, in a 2-player game, especially 1/3 of the way through now, you should absolutely try to move your player. Unless you think, unless you are black or purple, you should absolutely be trying to. And even then, you should be maneuvering in some way, shape, or form. But the question is, how much information do you want to give me?
I think I'm going to go ahead and add a card.
Awesome. I'm going to add all the cards that I can.
Every card you have, yep.
And then once everybody's had the opportunity to vote, they reveal them one at a time, tallying the results, scorpions and feathers. If there's a tie, resolve at the bottom of the age. All right.
So, black is dropping down, and all of these, in the same order, are dropping up.
Which to me would suggest that you are probably not black.
Yep.
That you are not blue, that you are not light blue or teal or yellow. You could be purple still, and you have moved purple some, or you could be one of those other ones. But it gives me about 4 that I'm far less worried about now, and 5 that I am far more certain you are one of.
Okay. Okay.
All of which could be a lie and a ruse.
It could be. All of it could be. You deducing, you commentating on the deduction too is fascinating as well. This is a fun dynamic.
So the best way in any sort of hidden role game to create superiority and to keep people from ever guessing at what you are is to constantly be making commentary on what is happening at the table, because it lets you implant ideas into other people's heads. It lets you because again, we talked about this with Inhuman Conditions. Consistency in play style is key. And so either nothing goes out into the world or you run the table are the 2 surest ways to keep consistency in hidden role games.
I'm enjoying the dynamic. I think it's fascinating.
Also, it's just good. Long periods of silence is not the most captivating gameplay.
That is true. That's another reason why I'm enjoying it. Choose one to place out. You can place it wherever you would like. I think the Goblin Horde makes sense here in the mountains. And then since you're the first player, you'll actually get to place 2 out onto the table.
It's not going to rotate, or does it rotate after this?
I think it rotates after this.
Okay.
I was just giving you 2 because I drew back and forth. I don't know that it's actually specific around first player.
I got you.
Let me go ahead and grab that rulebook there. I'm going to make sure that I'm being careful with positioning, like movement, because where they go, front or back of the track, is one of those things.
And in the last one, it does. In some of the ages, it does matter.
It'll start to matter a little bit, yeah. Where is the positioning thing here? Add or subtract. Scoring Renown. Yeah, so Agamar is closest to the next Renown space and is the lead. We'll lose 2 Renown due to the front of the line. Okay, so if you're losing Renown and going backwards, you're not going to go to the back, you're going to go to the front of the next pile. If you're gaining and you're going up, you're going to skip to the front.
You're going to skip to the front. So you're always moving to the front unless you're at the bottom.
You're always moving to the front unless you're very specifically at the bottom, and then you'll duck back to the back and the bottom.
Okay. Awesome. So we've got some placement.
Plumb the depths. We have Vanquish the Dark, and we have the Goblin Horde. And I'm
ready to go full Goblin Horde mode.
Top of the lead. You're going Goblin Horde?
Goblin Horde mode. It's a very hip thing in the space right now. Gotcha. You got to go Goblin mode.
We have a revelation of a card, and our city event is The Way is Shut. When submitted, demis go to the pools instead. When smited, demis go to the pools instead of the abyss. So there's no abyss play here.
Interesting. So there's no extra way to gain as many cards. Now, do I stay with 0 cards?
No. The top of the round, you're going to draw back up. I believe it's drawing back up.
Yeah, but if you have more than 5, you don't lose any. Correct? You don't
lose any
because somebody had their way with learning all your information.
All players draw 5 fate cards, so I'll actually have 7 going into this round.
I hate you. Not at all.
And I'll double check and just make sure that I'm 100% right on that. Reset the board. All players draw 5. If a player had cards in their hand from a previous round, they still draw cards, but they may not exceed 8 in total.
Okay, so there's a limit. So you're not maxed out yet. Cool, and we're going to put this back at the top right here. And you're first player this round.
Yeah, who wants to go
is good,
where?
I've got shenanigans I'm ready to get into, and I cannot wait.
So I'm kind of thinking we go ahead. I can move 2 spaces with a single move action, right?
You can, you get 2 moves. You can either do it 1 person do, or you can do, more. You can also do, any of the moves, and you've got the ability to do some god powers this turn pretty cleanly if you want to.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I like the idea of locking people into where they're already trying to go. So I'm going to move red up, and I'm going to move orange up, so that everyone that needs to be into a position is already inching their way in the right direction. That's going to gain me a single card, bringing me up to 8, and it'll be your turn.
That's interesting. And one of the reasons it's really interesting is because I'm going to move orange over here and put them on this quest. Mainly because I have the exact opposite inclination.
Maybe not quite what I had in mind specifically, but that's okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. And I think what I'm going to do is pop this card down. That's one of my moves. And then I think I'm going to... So I really need to start getting some cards back into my hand, even though I really enjoyed watching you play solo mode last time.
You probably don't want to give me control of every action.
Yeah, but if I do it right now, I'm really only setting you up to get the next thing. So I'm gonna wait on that. We're not going to move anybody through the city. I think what I'm going to force you to do is, or make you think about doing, is coming over here and vanquishing the Drake.
Ooh. Is there a chance you are orange or red?
Orange and red have surged ahead. Now, is there a chance you're orange or red? There's a high likelihood, like I said, you're in that top 5.
Well, the risk right over now there is that you're potentially orange or red, and you're positioning them to get 1 and 2 victory points.
Correct. That could be the case. I'm also could just be total goblin mode right now and absolute chaos. And try to maybe potentially force you to use cards to move people around also.
True.
Too. But that is both of my actions for this turn. That's it. I'm good.
So I wanted orange and red to lock into their positions, not to be floating across the board. Do I think you're investing in scorpions over there, or do I think you're trying to get them to go up higher? I really don't want either of them to win.
Unless you are one of them.
So theoretically, I want to go ahead and close that off, and I want to push.
When Jesse says I don't want either of them to win, what I hear is I'm absolutely one of those two. And I really want one of those two to win, but I don't want Tony to know.
Strong preference against Tony knowing anything is my gameplay. So I think I'm going to go ahead and move pink into this position.
Are you pink? That's the real question.
And I am going to go ahead and play down. We will play this card here. Okay. Go ahead and let's resolve it. So one person's going to add one card. Sir, please contribute to the deck.
Do I have to?
You do have to.
Oh, dang it. All right. We'll go this way. All right.
You've got 3 pieces of information on this.
I do. We have one. You know, all the rest are me.
Yeah.
So.
Feather, scorpion. Oh, a +2. So draw 2 from the deck. You're just chaos.
When I said I might just be chaos,
You might just.
I
be
might
chaos.
just be chaos.
Feathers have 1.
Right.
Orange is going to go up by 1 space. Red is going to go up by 2 spaces. And pink is going to go down by 1 space.
All right. A lot happened there.
Did it?
I mean, a lot. Yeah. I mean, these guys went up. That one. I mean, things happened. All right.
And you just put chaos down.
100% put chaos.
Very hard to read who you might be. Now, the chaos might have aided you. You put chaos... No, you did chaos, a feather, and a scorpion. You played it straight even and let chaos win.
Yeah. Is it possible I told you nothing in all of that and just forced you to play through that? And again, wouldn't it be funny if you are neither of those and you're just banking on being slightly higher than me and getting a secondary win?
I don't understand. You are stressing me out, though, effectively.
So I said this in the car the other day.
Yeah.
And do you remember what I said about what every game is?
Every game for you is a...
Every game is a social game.
Social game, yeah.
Every game is a social game. And the best thing you can do is know the rules, behave with confidence, and try to execute a consistent strategy.
Is it always the play to just behave with confidence?
In games?
What if you behave with aggressive insecurity?
I think that's a mode also, too.
A mode of confidence,
It's a mode of confidence. Aggressive insecurity can be a mode of confidence.
It's one of the veils of confidence you can play.
I believe you have one more move left.
Because I moved just one person in to close that off. Interesting. Well, I don't like you.
Orange does have to come back across. I mean, you could move them over.
Does have to split over, but I would be giving you a card if I did that.
You're right.
And I'm invested in not giving you a card. Let's lock the person that can lock in into a locked-in position.
So it's the second time you've moved purple into another high-value point position.
Purple has to be there.
Well, I understand that, but you chose to do it instead of doing other things.
Okay.
Because there are other ways you could get somebody else in that position by using god powers, and you do have plenty of cards.
I have not spent a single god power so far. I actually find the god powers to be offensively expensive for what they are.
I find god powers in the third round
are important.
Clutch.
Sometimes they can
early
be,
on they can be a little bit too. But
sometimes they can be very, very tactical plays.
Yeah.
They are also half of my hand of cards.
They are sort of a great way to introduce chaos early on that might mean nothing if you just want to.
But I don't know the read. I feel like using a god power in a 2-player game is a big play.
It's a big swing.
I mean, you're doing something.
And you're gonna want
in
to
a bigger
on the third
player
round.
game. You can literally just swap 2 colors just to mess with people, just because someone wanted it. You know, they were hungry for it.
All right, so what do I want?
I'm terrified you're just going to chaos your way into a secure victory. I'll just have moved your piece far enough that you win.
Let me tell you, I know exactly where my piece is right now, and I have feelings about it. But
you do have currently feelings about it?
You don't know what those feelings are. They could be really positive.
Okay.
They could be really negative.
Horribly negative. I hope you're yellow.
Let's see.
That was your first play.
Do I just want to run out again and force you to continue on this insanity or not?
It'd be a very interesting move.
I don't know that I can afford to, in all honesty, Unless I'm saying that just to convince you that it's...
Yep.
But like letting you run the board for large portions of 2 rounds would put you in such a position that I don't think it's really tenable.
If I am using that moment to actually take advantage of actions, like if I'm helping myself, if I'm still trying to play strategic and not just,
I think what we're going to do is just kind of
pull 2 back in, grab a card.
And grab a card.
I think that makes sense. I was going to be shocked if you were going to run the board again. I, however, am going to follow in your footsteps. I'm moving both of these back into the center.
I love it.
I'm going to go ahead and flip on that first one, which I will have chosen black to be that first one.
Okay.
Which means black goes down a point, down to the top. And then yellow will have been the second one that I moved in, which will go ahead and grab me a card in. Okay.
Cool.
The way is shut has been completed. There's really no other ways to gain cards now. We are out of options for cards because Smite does not exist in this scenario. Only the pools exist. And
we might... It's going to pull a lot of cards out to finish. This is a really interesting play state right now.
I have plenty of cards. You're the one that's potentially limited on cards. And so I might get control of this next city event again.
100%.
Yeah.
Like that's some of what I have to weigh out and what I want to do. So I think we're gonna go 1. If you 2.
Okay. Orange. I mean, I feel like. First off, orange is going over here too. You could have set orange up to get 5 points this turn.
I could have.
Or 4 points this turn.
I could have. At this point, I'll be honest. I'll be 100% transparent.
Yeah.
My play right now is to make you do more stuff to resolve things so that I don't have to. And by burying orange there, I put more pressure on you to do that because you have less other options because we have to free orange before the end of this. And you have more cards than I do, therefore more ability to do that.
Yep. That'll make sense. I'm going to pull... I think I'm going to pull green into this location for my first move.
And I'm still curious if you're green or not.
And I'm going to go ahead and play down a card. I will have you add a card to the pile. Your Pure Chaos is showing. Play and reveal. Scorpion, 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 Scorpion.
Which again, could reinforce purple for you. Purple was at the bottom of that hierarchy. It didn't touch it. I know you're like, oh, I didn't do this, but it doesn't matter. So we've got orange going up 1.
Yep.
We've got purple going up 2. We've got green going down 1.
It's the play. We've got one more location. I've got one more action before we cycle back over to your turn. Do I go lock orange in? That's the obvious action, and it puts you in a driving seat for once. Huh.
But I can't even, if I don't have a card.
Oh, do you have no cards?
I have 1 card.
You have 1 card.
So I won't even get a full turn unless I move somebody 2 spaces.
Yeah. I am going to put orange in the driving seat. I think setting orange there for points is a reasonable start.
So interesting choice.
Okay.
Because if orange has, like, goes up again, they're a clear leader at that point.
They're doing very well at that point.
Right. Influence does nothing for me. I'm going to have to. Then I can't just move 2, not play a card, but that means I'm done. Correct?
You can move 2 and not play a card, but that would be a forced pass.
Right.
But you would hold a card through for the revelation.
And that's what I'm a little bit, I think, more concerned about at this point in time. Demi deck. So we would know 2 people who were not.
Yep.
I'm very interested in that outcome. Okay. I am gonna go 1, 2.
Wow. Dumping someone out the back. You're putting me in position to
control the fate. Yeah. So this gives you a lot of clear. And again, if you're in the top now,
I could force pass.
You could force pass also. If we both force pass, what happens?
We just move forward.
Okay.
We just move forward. But then we wipe to age 3, and we've decided that the board at the state it is now... We've decided
the Goblin Horde is worth keeping.
It just lives on the table.
Okay. Which is an option.
It is an option.
But here's the thing. If you're orange, this would be 100% of the time to run away, because it would make it incredibly hard for me to pick up.
If I was orange, that would in fact be the case. That would be...
If you were an orange girl, na.
What are my abilities here? Portal, Transfiguration, Smite, just crush someone off of a space.
And here's even what I'll propose. If you force pass, we can even collaborate we could both choose to not put any down for the thing. It would tie, and we would find out 2 people who neither of us are. Which does work in both of our favor.
It would. It would. Shuffle and reveal the top card of the demi deck, or shuffle and reveal 2 cards of the demi deck.
Right, so the tie is actually, I think, for us in a 2-player game, strategically for either of us, the best option. Doesn't mean you want to cooperate on it, but...
I'm going to pass.
All right, cool.
Oh, wait, but that doesn't make sense. I'm drawing up 5 cards, spending at least 3 of my cards.
To do something.
No, spending at least 2 of my cards to do something is the best play.
Correct.
Because it doesn't waste cards. So, Smite or Omniscience. Shuffle a card from the Fate deck into a quest vote pile without looking at it, then examine the vote pile. I already know the vote pile. That could be an interesting, just mess with this a bit, though. I don't hate a good Smite.
It feels a little weak right now.
It does. There's not a lot of .2 Smite, and it doesn't go the whole way down to the Abyss. I think I am going to actually do that. I think I'm going to spend 2 of these, which will pop in over here. I think it's public what I discard.
I'm not super concerned either way.
Either way, I'm discarding down. I'm going to shuffle 1 in here. I already know all the information, but now I get a reference point of what was added to that. Now, because I've played a card, I've done a God Power, I still could or should maybe take an action. I would like to go ahead and move green here into this location.
Okay.
And then I am going to actually step away and pass.
You need to play a card for moving.
I do need to play a card. You're right. Sorry about that. Okay. I'm going to now step away and pass.
Okay.
We're going to be moving to the next, next phase.
It's Revelation. Global vote starting to the left of the first player.
Which would be you.
Which would be me. We already talked about this. If it's feathers, we're going to shuffle and reveal the top card of the demi deck. This would let us see one of the demigods that is neither of us. If it's scorpions, there's no effect, so nothing happens. Or if it's a tie, then we will see 2 of them. We will now have knowledge of 2 people who are not. I'm going to pass on playing a card.
I am also going to pass on playing a card. This could be very interesting.
Yes, it is. And especially if one of these top colors, we've got half of these that I'm suspicious of you, that you are, I'm very interested.
And I'm not under the impression that you are bad enough at this game to have not moved your piece once. So, equally as suspicious. So whoever gets knocked off here... Unless it's teal, blue, or yellow, which would be 2 of those. Grab 1. I'll grab 1.
Yellow does not.
Yellow does nothing. Pink knocks off a back end.
And pink was one we were thinking about a lot.
I was very curious about you for pink.
Yeah. But this also gives us 2 that we now can, in the 3rd age, move without concern about how many points.
I hadn't been worried about yellow at all. I had been concerned about pink. And that's an interesting point that you bring up, is now we both know that the other person also knows that a throwaway move could be either of those pieces.
Right.
So... It puts more weight on why did you not move pink into that location.
Right.
Interesting. All right, age 3 is going to pop out here onto the board. The Eridan's Blessing. City card is going to pop out. Upheaval, you want to go ahead and read what the text of that card says?
Upheaval, demis may not travel directly from one quest region to another. Meaning if there's a quest in that region, we must take a more circuitous route.
Okay, and...
So force people through the city more, pushing that along.
I'm going to go ahead and play out some cards.
And this is an important thing too. This is third age ones have very different things, and I know that we don't look at this till the end, but
you can look at it earlier.
No, I know. I mean, it doesn't matter, but it's good to know as a player, and that's at the end. If there is, if it's mostly feathers, the Demis in the Abyss and pools get 2. If it's Scorpion, Demis in the city get 2. If it's tied, Demis not in the city, pools, or Abyss, so anywhere else get it. So
2 and control of that could be the difference at the end of the game. Go ahead and draw cards up. I gave you 1 quest to go ahead and place down. There are going to be 4 quests on the board this time. Interesting draw on my end.
The Chimera's Nest is going to go over here.
Okay.
It's interesting. There are a lot more that we will have to move specifically, which is going to counterbalance that knowledge of certain things.
And you're top of the round.
Cool. Excellent. And we can't move people without using God powers. We cannot move people out of positions.
That is true.
Too.
A God power could, though, go ahead and do a transfiguration or a smite to knock someone off of position.
Interesting. And then who all do we have? What are all these little...
He's a bull.
Owl. Tiger. Bull. Owl.
It's also on the bottom.
Well, that's way easier to look at. I should have been doing that the entire time. It's also on all of the Renown markers.
I forgot that it was on the bottom of them until after.
Until I was like, excellent. Oh, man. There's
My brain
so
went,
much...
oh, they should have made that easier. And then I went,
They did.
duh.
Man, leave it to Ivy to design a good game. There's so much happening here.
I am actually really liking this 2-player balance.
It is, and again, the speed of this.
It's as classic as a good social deduction game is at this level, though, where playing another 7 times with you would only enhance the experience.
100%.
Because we now are like reading each other's ticks, and we're trying to not play how we played before and adjusting.
All right, what are we gonna do? Moved you out there. Moved you in here. Got you guys on the bottom. Let's do some classic chaos. So I'm going to move blue here. I'm going to move black here.
He claims classic chaos. Puts blue in a spot where he might earn 2 points. You like doing that.
I do, but I also like putting people on things that
is
have
true.
to be resolved.
You do have to play a
otherwise.
card here. You have to play a card here.
Oh, that's true. All right, hold on. Let me think.
And watch how you're holding your cards there. Just.
All right. Blue's at the bottom no matter what. Right now.
You're choosing to close this. What if you are orange the entire time?
I think you're orange right now. I think you're orange or green. I could be wrong. Mm-hmm. Purple's been sliding up that entire time. Red has moved pretty naturally, so if you are red, it's just been very masterful of of things falling in your favor.
I am concerned though because I feel like I have done more to influence orange, red, purple, green, and pink, which we now have invalidated, than you have done for any of them. Which means if you're one of those,
oh yeah,
I am just stumbling into your chaos.
Yeah.
Because so, I don't have a good read on who you might be. Oh man.
Okay. I put one down here. I need to put one down there.
And it's because you've given me so much control of a lot of the game state.
Sure.
But that might be causing me to outplay myself.
It's a really interesting thing that you can do in a 2-player version that you cannot do in a non-2-player version.
Okay, I'm going to be adding a card to this. Go ahead and shuffle those up.
This is going to show us a lot about these characters potentially.
I added one randomly in there already.
Yeah.
For the record.
But you looked afterwards.
Yes, I did.
So you know what that
I know what that one is. I know the 2 that I've added. I know the 1 that I've added randomly. And I don't know yours.
So you're going to know what I added no matter what on this.
I should, yep. Double feather, single feather, double feather, ×2, scorpion. You pulled the double feather into there.
Double scorpion, double scorpion. So overwhelmingly, this means that you and I voted positively on this,
Double scorpion,
but it
double
has
scorpion.
ended up tied.
What does a tie do?
I think does a tie do nothing?
I mean, this
Or do
is
we vote?
this is a question that does not happen very often.
Austin, if you could go ahead and give Jesse a call right now. But again, this is one of the things I love about this game. Like, it's very quick to look things up, but also you end up with what are very rare situations fairly common.
I should have known
Flip
this.
a die. It's 100% fate.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Gotta love
So,
it.
I'm going to flip. I'm going to catch. I'm going to top
Sure.
the hand. That's how I always
Okay.
do it. So, catch, top. We are going feather.
Which, according to what we actually put down, is what both of us wanted, theoretically.
Cool.
Theoretically.
Black is going up by 1 position. Orange is going up by 2 positions. Green is going down by 1 position. That was big. That was
And
very,
again, if you're orange, I'm loving this either way.
that was very interesting. You're like, if you're orange and I'm losing, I'm loving this no matter
Yeah,
what.
yeah. Actually, I don't know that I've ever won a game of this because it's
Really?
not what I play. It's not what I enjoy about playing this game. It's one of the few games that I can totally enjoy just losing at while doing the social deduction part.
Trying to get a good sense of who is going to have to be positioned in what locations over here. Because it's top for me, right? You've played, yeah, you triggered that and played down your other person. I kind of want to close this. I sort of want to close this myself.
This one?
Yeah.
Do it. You got it.
So black has got to go in there to the center.
Unless you use a god power.
And let's leave this here. I've got 2 cards to play down. Blue, black, and purple.
And again, I have a sneaking suspicion you're purple because of it gets included a lot on your moves.
Yeah?
I could be wrong.
Go ahead and play down a card. And then we will flip and find out where this is leaning. We have a scorpion. We have a scorpion. We have double scorpions, and we have another scorpion. Blue, struck to the bottom of the pack. Black, skyrocketing up by 2, and purple, climbing above red.
Only reinforcing
Only reinforcing
my belief that you're potentially purple.
belief that I am potentially purple.
Potentially purple. Like, my belief that you're potentially one of these colors is pretty high.
At least the ones above pink.
Yeah.
Like, one of
actually,
us-
I don't think that you are black. I think that you might be pink, even still. That way we know you're not
No,
pink.
we know we're not pink.
Never mind.
We know we're not pink. I am stressed about who you might be, because there is no way you are these. Pink is out. You wouldn't just abandon green to the ether. You are playing a very good game. Unless you're playing a horrible game, you're playing a very good
But
game.
again, remember what I also said. This is a game I fully enjoy playing and losing. So like, I could be anywhere along this.
Your desire is to know who I am by the end of the game, more so than to have
And I'm
won the
losing
game.
at that right now.
Yeah?
Like I'm
You've narrowed
pretty
it down to
confident.
5?
I'm pretty confident. I think I've narrowed it down to less than 5. But
That's only because of that.
I was already pretty sure purple was already in the mix for that.
Okay.
Purple was the bottom of the mix initially because it felt like a good way to obfuscate and keep you towards the top without being the top from the switch you did.
That's true.
Which is the only reason purple stayed in the mix on that.
Okay.
Cool. My turn.
Your turn.
And actually, there is really, with orange, only one thing we should be doing at this moment in time.
Oh, I didn't even see that there.
Yeah.
Interesting. And you could pull a card if you pull someone else back in. Demis may not travel directly from one quest region to another. One quest region to another. So you can't go from here over.
We have to go through
You have
the
to go
city.
into the city and back down.
Okay.
I don't know that we've.
I don't know that we did
we've done that. So, but good to pay attention to now.
Let's see. So then I do need to move somebody into the city no matter what. And who we are going to move into the city will be. Blue.
Grabbing a card.
Yeah.
Asher, I'm sorry. That was me. No. I shouldn't have knocked. Asher. Hey. Come here. Shear's sleeping.
Asher.
Asher, come. Asher. No.
What if I bark?
Don't bark.
I could come, but what if I just barked instead?
Stop the barking.
All right.
Oh, come on. Why are you so grumbly? She is so grumbly. Let's move Teal in Smite to the Abyss.
So you're secretly Teal is what you're saying.
It's
an interesting choice because you're not picking someone who you think I might be at all. You're picking somebody you consider non-consequential.
You're just as good as Teal. I have no idea who you might be, and it's frustrating me. So yes, I pulled someone in that I was just like, someone needs to be Smit. I don't know who you might be. The options that I had, none of which were great. Green's going to pull into the center here. Is going to go ahead and earn myself a card. And you can continue your game, good sir.
Let's see. God, there's so much happening here. We are going to move purple in. Wait. This is a 50-50 chance of what happens.
Be a point or lose a point.
We are going to move up one.
Grab yourself a
card. We are going to... I could move out. Well, you know what? Let's... And this one is optional.
Mm-hmm.
I can choose to...
Would you like me to flip?
No, I'm gonna do it.
You're gonna flip?
Do what?
You have to.
Oh, I have to flip for that one. Oh yeah, you can go ahead and flip for
Okay.
that, sorry.
Feather.
So Teal.
Gains a point, sorry. I tried to
Teal.
do a cool
I've secretly been Teal the whole
afterwards.
time. This is the first point I've earned him.
You're moving them up.
And I am going to swap out a card. It doesn't. Let's get rid of that.
That goes there. You'll grab one. Okay, this is over, so back on to me now. I want to go ahead and grab a point. So pulling in, grabbing a card. Now we have to start positioning people on stuff.
Mm-hmm. And we have to think about where people are going to end up based on potential voting power at the end of the game also too.
Because it's going to be positional for the voting power.
Right.
Okay. Well, since you always think I happenstance into purple, let's place purple down.
Okay.
Got to set a card. Your turn.
Okay. I'm going to move black up.
Black comes in. I already did that. Sorry.
Oh.
I should have closed that. I did that last turn. This is gone. That's the card that I gained last turn.
Gotcha. And I do think you're purple. It's a lot of purple movement for somebody who's not purple.
It's a lot of orange movement for someone who's not orange.
It's true. Let's go... There's a lot of things that come into play this late in the game that you've got to think about as you start closing stuff off, especially since we don't have easy ways to...
I always think about everything aggressively.
How many cards do you have?
I have 5 cards.
Okay, so we're set even right now.
And without a smite, we're not getting any more cards.
Correct. Which does create an interesting incentive for moving people into smite positions also, too.
Could be.
Let's go.
Thinking more than you have in the past.
Yeah. Well, because there's, like I said, there's a lot of things that are all coming into play.
Because black is out of the circle and you want black in? Is that why we're thinking so much about it?
Do what?
Because you'd love black to actually be a usable pawn right now?
Oh, sure.
Is that you've touched it? You touched it twice.
I did touch it twice.
You went for it twice.
Right.
You thought through it a few times. So you're moving up into that position. That's a mandatory position up there.
Yep.
Going to place down a card there, and you still have one more move.
I do still have one more move.
You just pull black back into the city. You know, just get him back into the action like you want so
I could
desperately.
pull black back. I do desperately want to get black back in the action. Always bet on black.
Very. You know. Which puts you in a stressful position because honestly, you got to make some moves with black this game, like this round, or else, you know, the 3 that you think I might beat him.
That's true.
Yeah.
One of the 3 that you might be.
All three might destroy him.
I mean, I think I'm pretty settled on purple at this point in time. But again, red is close enough to the top that you could pop up at the end, but purple would move with you. If you're not purple, you should be trying to move red no matter what. If you're orange, it doesn't matter at all unless you get dropped back down.
From orange, I'm feeling very good.
Let's then. It's not as much setup there. Let's move
pink in. A dummy play. Another card's got to go down.
Oh, I guess that's true.
Both of those were limited plays, though. Blue's at the bottom of the pack, and pink is a known idiot.
Well, blue had to go there.
I don't understand the game you're playing. I don't understand the game you're playing at.
Right now, I'm trying to get you to flush more cards out of your hand. So moving either this to the point where you can close it out yourself and leaving it there because you're purple and you're going to try to influence the entire thing. Mm-hmm. Get yourself one more, get yourself tied up, look for the final vote to matter. Mm-hmm. Or you're going to finish off that, move one over here. Just either way, get a couple more cards out of your hand.
I'm going to bring orange.
Because you are secretly orange.
Right down into this position. I'm going to play down a card.
Interesting.
And then I'm going to bring black back into the active circle.
Because you're black and you want to get black into the city.
Because I think you are going to be so grateful for my returning black to an active player in this game.
Sure.
Since you've just kept fiddled with him over here. Like, your hands just, you know... if you like someone, you just accidentally brush up against a little bit. So you just accidentally, you know...
What does it mean if I do this when I make these two, kiss each other?
That is actually just childhood fantasies. Okay, that's not, that's fine. And it doesn't reveal anything about your color at the moment.
Well, my color would be orange and purple mixed together. Because that's
what does that make? Mud?
It would make a brown.
Yeah. It would make a mud, yeah. All right.
Okay, so I can finish off either of these.
Okay.
It depends on what I think you are. You're going to get a chance to put one in on either one.
Either one.
If only I'd been paying attention to what I did over there when I put those cards down, because I really didn't care about it at all. I could just force pass also and bank on voting at the end also, too. Which would be really interesting.
Be such a weird way to play this game.
And yet. This is very interesting because these are the two people who I am top concerned you are. It's going to slide one way or the other. It's going to make it really clear to me this, or you're going to move red down and pop red up, one of the two. And so I don't think I want to touch that at all.
Okay.
I think what I'm going to do is force pass and see what you do, and then leave it to heavy vote at the end.
Whoa. Force pass. Game's open. I could also pass right now as well.
And then it would just be the vote.
It would just be the final vote.
You don't have to show me anything at this point in time.
which would not guarantee, it would pretty much give black 5, red 7, yellow, green, teal all could go up by 2, because the chance is city scores 2. That's the only real consequence here that matters.
Or if somehow it ties, right? But it would start with you, so I would get the last say in that. So you could theoretically get everybody else points who's not in one of these locations.
This is very interesting.
But I would have more control over that than you would.
But if I close these, I still drain your hand of cards slightly. Because you've got to play down.
Yeah, you have to play down.
How many cards do you have?
I have 3.
I could pull both cards out. I can pull 2 cards out of your hand.
There's a lot you can do. So, I mean, the question is, because I'm playing the game to figure out who you are.
I'm going to move black. Oh, black can't go in here. I would have to play... I'd have to break.
You have to use a power.
Who can go in there?
Oh, it'd be really funny if they were all totally
Teal
locked up.
or yellow could go in there. So if I opened pink, pink's non-essential. Teal, neither of those are great. I could go ahead and portal, which would break a movement requirement.
But also that would pretty much drain you.
It would pull me down to...
Yeah, I mean, you'd portal and put a card down, and then you'd be done. And that would give me control over a lot of stuff, but...
Fascinating. This is a weird... I like 2 players of this right now.
I like 2 players. I'm also enjoying playing with you a lot, and I'm glad that you are enjoying my odd mode, chaos mode, that is largely about information extraction.
I am having fun with it. I'm going to place teal down here.
Okay.
I want cards out of your hand.
Okay.
So, go ahead and play a card down there.
So here's the question that I've got to think about more than anything else. And that is, who do I think you are? Because the reality is, the best move overall for me, no matter what, is to... Like, the best point move for me, if I'm not one of these 3, is to pull this down. If I am one of these 3, I'm gold, right? Like, this is great.
If you're one of your 3s, you're in a good spot.
I put 1 card down. What if I'm just teal? And I don't want to sacrifice my only point.
You're playing hard that I'm blue and you're teal, and that you're gonna pull it.
We're actually blue and yellow at the bottom.
Go ahead and shuffle that up. Let's see what the consequences are. Oh man. Double scorpion. Times 2. Feather, feather. Pulling feather, feather. Pulling feather, feather. Feathers have it.
Okay, so it's a coin flip.
Flipping, this might result in a smite or a loss of a point. That is going to be a loss of a point. Purple down by 1. Orange up by 2. And teal down by 1.
Great.
Okay. Card comes off. So if you're orange, you are living...
If you're orange, you're living well. If you're
orange, you're living well. So what closes that? What closes that last section?
And did you finish? That was your second move, right?
Yeah, but you don't. You've already passed.
Yeah, I know.
You're out. Huh. This is very...
Right, because you could have been red, waiting this entire time, and you need to be in the city, but if you move out, you could also get 2 more points also, but then you're not going to get the benefit of the city.
If the city's the thing that closes, scorpions are the thing that'll pull the city and push everyone up by 2. What do I think you played over there?
In all honesty, I don't remember.
And what do I think you have in your hand? You played down, I believe, a double feather on this. Mm-hmm. And then it drew double feathers on top of that.
Yeah,
so
twice.
Is the double feather all you have left in your hand?
I mean, no, I have 2 more cards.
No, I'm saying
Or are they all double feathers?
Are they all double feathers? Or did you specifically want that to go down the feather side?
And you could pass, and nothing will happen. We'll go to the vote. That'll be it.
I'm trying to figure out if there's any good play left without speaking too much. Because if I speak too much, But
at this point, I can't do anything.
I understand. No, you can. At this point, you still have control over
but that's
this.
going to happen no matter what, right? Like,
But
I
that
can't
vote
move anybody.
doesn't necessarily go in favor of city. Like, I have to decide: do I want to break someone free? Do I want to place people into the city? Do I want to keep people that are in the city? For instance, I could step red or black out of the city, which would change the equation on my final turn.
Yep.
My pass could be removing people from the city so that the game stays exactly where it is.
Yep.
Question is, if I am not orange, and I want the game to not remain exactly where it is there any action that I can take that puts me in a potentially beneficial situation, or is it all going to be consequential? And the question comes down to, what do I think you played up there? And what do I think you have in your hand to add?
Yeah. If it was me in classic chaos mode, I
holding
played scorpions because then it would just be a bunch of flipping.
But I'm saying you were holding scorpions for this. If you wanted the city to go and you were making a bank on doing the city, let's say you're red or you're black,
okay,
and you want the city to be the thing that processes, and you want the city to be the thing
green?
You want the city to be the thing that processes. Then you would hold on to scorpions for the sake of triggering this and pushing this up.
Uh-huh.
If that's the case, you would have held on to scorpions, which is what you have to play now.
Sure.
I'm going to take a gamble. That'll either be the game,
okay,
or it'll either be win or loss. Like that's
one of us is going to win and one of us is going to lose.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm trying to say.
Unlike before.
I'm going to move 1. I'm going to move 2.
Interesting.
I'm going to play down, and I'm going to force you to play a card into that location.
Okay. Now, if you are purple,
if I was,
that's a super masterful move.
Yeah.
If you're not, it's interesting.
Okay. And I still have actions beyond this, which is what I am.
Yeah.
Oh wait, do I have actions beyond this?
No, because the quest is solved.
So then, let me pause for a second.
No, I might totally change what card I played, and you already shuffled them.
Is there a way for me to have... No, I'm thinking, is there a way for me to have moved other people? You're right about that. There's already been information that's exchanged.
Yeah, but it's
But there was no way for me to have moved and spent a card...
Correct.
Without... Because I did want to realign the city a little bit.
Yeah. But you can't get to that position.
That's what I'm looking at.
I mean, I do know what I put in, if you want me to take it back out.
Nope.
Okay.
I wanted to realign the city a little bit.
But
and
you can't.
To do that move, there was no way to reposition the city.
Right.
Interesting. Let's commit to what I've done.
All right.
Double feather, single feather, double scorpion, single scorpion, coin flip.
All right.
Wow. Feathers have it. Pink goes up by 1.
If you're pink, then...
Blue goes up by 2. Purple goes down by 1.
This could only have been bad. I could not have possibly anticipated the outcome of what just happened. Like, I was 100% convinced that I had put a ton of scorpions down over there.
Yeah.
Because I had a huge handful of scorpions at the very beginning of this one, so I just assumed there were far more of them over there.
Okay.
All right, that's it.
Those are off to the side. And now...
The end of the third era.
The end of the third era, where 2 points for demis in Abyss or Pools.
Which isn't anybody.
2 points for demis in the city.
Okay.
Or demis in the city, Pools, or Abyss gain 2 points.
Okay.
So we have to vote.
And person to the left of the first player, who's me right now, goes first. So you're going to vote.
Yeah. 1 card or 2 cards? Is it one at a time, or is it...
No, it's you. I believe you
down.
put in all yours, and then it goes to the next person.
I'm going to invest all 4 cards.
Okay.
Or, sorry, all 2 cards.
Okay. I'll invest my card also, too.
You'll see why I said 4 as I reveal them.
Sure.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Sure.
I had to outweigh you there.
Yep.
Because I didn't want the board to change.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've won. I don't think I have. But I'm more scared of you holding on for that card, because that's what your play was.
Okay.
Your play was, let me pause and make something happen in the city. And without being able... I was going to set everyone out of the city.
Yeah.
If I could have. I should have started working on that earlier. Nothing's moving.
Okay, so let's talk before we reveal.
Yep.
I'm going to guess based on your statements that this is not you.
I'm going to guess based on the happenstance or my influence that has caused that to move forward, that is not you as well.
Okay.
I don't think either of us would have allowed that to have happened.
Yeah, I think we were both pretty sure at the end that this was not either of us.
I think so. If this is you, brilliant play.
There's no reason you would have done that if you were red. Red, you would have absolutely wanted to surge ahead. Unless you were just like, I'm just going to take a secondary victory, good obfuscation. I think there's a strong likelihood...
It wouldn't have changed the puzzle. 5 to 7 wouldn't have changed
that's
the
what
puzzle.
I'm saying. Like,
I'm saying the city wouldn't have mattered there.
Right. But there's no reason for you to have dumped it, even if you had strengthened that position, right?
Sure.
There is a strong chance you were purple. You made a lot of heavy purple moves. They came late enough in the game to be the case. But you also were super canny on when I mentioned green, and that was really funny. So I think you're purple or green.
Okay.
I will lean in heavily on purple, but
so I've got you pinned between 3.
Okay.
It's either going to be red.
Okay.
One, because of where it's positioned. It's a strong position.
Yeah.
And you didn't avoid red. Like, you didn't mind red being in part of the chaos that was happening.
Right.
But red did go up pretty naturally, which I think you've indicated already.
Yeah.
You could be purple. You keep pointing purple towards me, which makes me suspicious. And you could be black. Black is the thing that I've seen you fiddle with the most. Like that double touch there. That to me seems like a subconscious, I'd like to move it, but it doesn't make sense. Like, it gives away too much information. It could have also just been a brush of the finger and not matter at all. I might be reading into that. I am going to lock in that you're black.
Okay.
You've locked in that I'm purple. The question is, who is right?
All right.
Did that double touch notice freak you out? Because that's when I felt really confident.
It wasn't because of that. I will pick up players that are close to me.
But you hadn't done much.
But I hadn't done it, and so like.
I mean, in your mind, did you go like,
Yeah, only because up until that point I knew you had no idea who I was, and it was something that cued you in. And again, there's probably a subconscious thing there. Yeah, purple I was pretty sure early on. The green thing was really just because of your non-mention of it before, which was just kind of a funny aside. This happens to me commonly in this game. I will play very well, but there will be enough luck elements that come in, because I was at 3. This is my second time getting to 3.
Yeah.
I got there. There was a transition. There was a random transition that happened that pushed me down 1, along with the swap that pushed me all the way back down to 0.
Yeah.
And that is but again, it's one of the reasons I'm very comfortable playing the game.
There's a touch of luck in this, but I also find, and this could be that I am a good advocate of luck.
Right.
But I win this game more often than I lose. And it's
no.
just,
I don't think you won based on luck.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying it is a combination of luck, but there's a right balance of when it is time to make a move, you make a move.
Right.
I did think I'd cost myself the game.
Right.
I thought red was a strong chance, and my gamble was, the last card that we did, this threw me off. My gamble was Scorpion to secure the final 2 points.
Yeah, and when you move that up, that's 100%. I was like, yeah, there's no reason
but
for me to be moving purple.
The risk on that was actually putting myself down below.
Right.
Like, because of that consequence. Like, that wasn't... So,
what I love is, this really came down to the last card plays in the game. Like,
I felt like everything was important.
Yeah,
everything was important towards revealing information.
And had you played one more card, or had you not sucked one more card, because I had another double Scorpion that I was holding on to for the exact same reason, knowing it would surge me up 2 points.
Yeah, that was that.
And so like that, there was
it was the last choice that I made that did change the game.
Yep. And so again, I don't think winning happens by luck in this. I mean, I think it could, but like only in the dumbest sense, and only every once in a while.
I think I hear what you're saying. You don't think winning happens by luck. You do think losing sometimes does.
Is influenced tremendously by luck. Yeah,
Interesting.
absolutely.
I think that's a fair point.
And so, I mean, and I think it's a game you take on average. Like you said, you win more often than you lose. I am usually in the top 2 players.
But you usually know everyone around the table.
But I usually, and again, for me, that's the fun thing that I spend most of my time doing, to the point where sometimes I'll miss a thing because I'm paying attention to what other people are doing.
Really liked this at 2. Would be thrilled to play this again at 2. I can understand now why Austin says 2 players and then 6 or 7, which you have to get to the table. You know what we should do? You've already said you like Ivy Studios. When they come up again, because they visit us every 6 months or so, I will let you know. I will let you know. We'll figure out a way to cover travel and stuff like that. We should get you over here so that we can do with Ivy Studios, so that we can do a full roster of Ivy games coverage. Dive into a full 6-7 player of this. It would just be a good. It would be a good event.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for playing. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. If you haven't gotten Veiled Fate to the table yet, and you like hidden movement, social deduction, this is a game that not only is fantastic at what it does, but I love the way that Ivy Studios balances their games around the player counts and is really smart around, 7 players isn't just 7 different demigods. It changes that combination and really changes the puzzles. And 2 players didn't feel like we were just ambiently manipulating the board. It felt like it was much more of a social interaction, and our communication changed so much. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Whatever the case, whatever you do, remember to do the important thing.
He-bidi-bee-bee.
He-bidi-bee-bee. We'll see you next time. Bye.